Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. This is episode 10 of season 10, and it's the end of the season.
That sounds like we've done so much work for this show.
We don't do much.
A decade of show.
Yes, yeah. Ignore the fact that we do 2 seasons a year, and it sounds like we've been around for a long time. This is the final episode of this standalone arc of episodes. We'll take a little bit of break. There'll be plenty of bonus episodes for everybody at home.
We're not going to
stop
releasing stuff.
You'll still get weekly releases. We're just not going to be doing lots of escape rooms and things. So we'll be back in the latter half of the year for another season of escape rooms.
But in the meantime, we're not done yet. You still have this one.
Yes. Every episode, we have guests come on to play through an escape room that exists just on an iPad, which isn't that impressive, really. But it's an audio. It's a virtual escape room. You can imagine it at home. And this episode, we have the twin hosts of Cancelled Movie Report. We have Eden Porter. Welcome, Eden.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
And we have Michael Campbell. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me also.
Did you say they were twins?
Well, they're the twin hosts.
Wanted to address that controversy. And no, in fact, we will announce it here exclusively on the show. We are twins.
There you go. I'm sure we've talked about it with our audience before because we have been guests on Cancelled Movie Report as both voice actors and movie critics, I suppose.
Yeah.
Assessors.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, quite.
Would you like to give a rundown for people at home who haven't listened to Cancelled Movie Report, what the show is about and what it's like?
Yeah, definitely. It's an odd duck of a show because it's a few things in one. It is a show primarily around the idea of movies that were never made, movies that almost got made and never were. You've maybe heard legend of Nicolas Cage playing Superman or some such. And Eden and I were always fascinated. We used to always talk about it. And then we thought, well, let's make a podcast. But every time we'd heard information about it, we were always wanted more and more and more. Like what would it have sounded like? What would it have been like? So now what we do is we get these leaked screenplays that exist online. We talk about the production of the movie, who was going to star, who was going to be in it, who was going to make it. But we actually go through the script in somewhat detail. And then for certain sections, we actually get a full voice cast in and they recreate whole sections of the script. Essentially, we're trying to make it like the closest you can ever get to watching a movie that doesn't exist.
It works and is one of the highest production value podcasts that I listen to. I know that's true. Like,
it is a very well-made show. It is definitely one of our favorite shows.
I am pumped when I see your update saying, hey, new season, coming soon. Oh, God. It's absolutely one of the big ones that I look forward to every week.
Because we do make it in a spare bedroom. So the fact that it's down high production value is it's very flattering.
The funniest thing about it is the casting. So we can find out, I really want to hear what Christopher Walken would have been like as Brainiac. And so we get a Christopher Walken impressionist to come and do, there's an infinite amount of casting calls and stuff like that. It's just been a lot of fun.
Ones like that are actually easier, like Christopher Walken or an Arnold Schwarzenegger, because they are so specific. The harder ones are people that don't have a distinct voice.
True.
Like at the moment, our season's kicked off with a movie that was set to star Joaquin Phoenix. And he doesn't have as distinct a voice, and that's much harder to find.
Yeah. I was, while listening to the episode, going, all right, are they doing a Joaquin Phoenix impression? I don't know enough about what Joaquin Phoenix sounds like to judge that.
He's a little bit like, oh, it's me, Joaquin Phoenix. Hello, everybody, it's me. I think.
Oh, man, they were way off.
But yes, you've just started your new season. I think for people who are listening to this episode as it comes out, the second episode of your new season is coming out around the same time, maybe a day after.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So they can head over and listen to...
Absolutely listen to last week's first episode of the new season.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah, we do have the wonderful guest Alexi Toliopoulos joins us to talk about a cancelled Batman movie. Alexi was great. Voice cast was great, but there was one, and I forget her name, but she plays Anne Gordon in the show, and she's a particular standout. So I'd say listen to her.
Really? I thought she was cancelled.
What have you been saying?
Of course, because yes, Danny, you were very gracious to lend us your voice in that episode.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, it is a fantastic show. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit more in the post-show, but so if you're listening to this, go and listen to Cancelled Movie Report.
Well,
the new season's just started. You'll enjoy it, and then you'll go back and listen to the old ones because you won't be able to get enough. Now, whenever we have guests on the show, we always have the same 2 questions. which is tell us about cancelled movie report. First off, we ask everybody. And then,
This is the first time it's ever worked.
Yeah, it's really paid off this time. 10 seasons later.
we've cut it from every single episode, but now we can actually leave it in. So the first question is, what is your escape room experience? Eden, do you want to start? What is your experience with escape rooms in general?
Yes, look, I've done a few escape rooms over the years. Actually, in preparation for this, I went back and did another one. I have escaped from Clue-Mungie. That's right, the Jumanji escape room. But I've done one. Look, there was actually the hardest escape room I ever did was when I was visiting my friend in Beijing. We decided to do an escape room over there. And
Okay.
I don't know what it was. We came up against this clue that was probably one of the most impossible things ever. It took us like half an hour. We couldn't figure it out. At the end, when we got kicked out, we said, what was this? So it was a 4-digit combination to open up a lock, right?
Sure.
We figured out that it was letters. So we're like, okay, so it's letters. So it was like AYTR. So we're like, okay, what is this? And they had to be turned into numbers. We couldn't figure it out. We're trying alphabet-wise, backwards alphabet, inside out, everything like this. What it was, and I don't know whether you guys, being escape room connoisseurs, have heard this before. What it was, it was the exit points of the letter. So
What?
Oh,
A, when you write a capital A, there are 2 exit points of the letter. So that was 2. Y had 3 exit points. So it was a 3. Like U was 2. And R was 2 as well.
That's
Has
so
anyone heard of
wild.
that before?
no, not at all.
And
I've
the
done some weird letter puzzles, but that is not one. They'd expected you to just notice that.
Yes, and the guy had the nerve to be like, "Oh, this one very easy." You see, it's just the exit points of each letter. And me and my friend Jayhan were just
man.
like, "What are you talking about?"
Maybe when maybe when you're in school in China learning
Well-
Chinese calligraphy, in kanji, but whatever the actual Chinese word is for them, maybe you look at them and maybe that's how they learn it. Like, oh yeah, this is like a 4 exit point kanji.
This
like
is
this
the
is a 4
only thing
exit
that we
point
could
symbol.
possibly come up with. Maybe it is
And
a
they
cultural
assumed
thing.
that English speakers would do the same. Maybe it's a more common thing in Chinese language
It was
to know the
very
exit
weird.
points of the things that you write.
So I expect that in tonight's episode.
I don't
Yeah,
mean to
Danny,
brag.
you-
I don't mean to brag, Ed, but I reckon I would have got that. That would have come
okay,
straight to my mind. Yeah.
I mean, we classically use the examples of, oh, what could the digits be? Oh, there's a chair over there. A chair has 4 legs. Try 4. It kind of seems like this is the letter equivalent of that.
That, yeah.
And Cambo, we've done some escape rooms together in real
Well,
life.
yeah. Can I be a bit vulnerable with you guys right now? I'm
Please.
a bit nervous about being on here. I've only done 2 escape rooms, but I've actually had the weird experience of my first ever escape room being with you guys. So that was my first ever escape room.
And it was not an easy room.
Well, the thing is, you guys are very, very good at escape rooms. I'm sure you know. The second escape room, I think I overinflated what I imagined my ability in escape room is. And I really struggled in the second escape room without you two there to essentially assist me at every point. And now, since then, I've been like, oh, maybe I'm not good at escape rooms. So now I'm quite nervous now coming on here. Because you've only seen me in one escape room, which you were there and you were very good at. And you'll see how I crumble without you.
I've got you,
Yeah, and-
Cambo. Don't worry, buddy.
Yeah,
I've got your
thanks.
back, mate.
No.
My back's ready to carry this team.
Remember exit points, Eden. It's going to come down to the exit points.
Don't pay too much attention to the exit points in this game. That will ruin the realism for sure.
Oh, well,
I
look,
love
I'm
it.
sure you'll do great. And if you don't, then I'll just cut you from the episode.
Well, I feel like I'm going to appear very little because my critical thinking is not the best under pressure. So I like Eden, you're much more of a gamer than me. I don't know if we haven't gamed that much together other than the odd D&D here and there, but puzzles start to stress me out after a while.
Oh, mate, I love a good puzzle. I'm here for some good puzzles.
This podcast is like skydiving to me. I'm really facing my fear by coming on here.
And so then the other aspect of the show is that it is escape rooms mixed with a sort of tabletop role-playing feel.
You tried to give us a good segue there yourself, Cambo.
Yes. So we can start with you this time, Cambo. What is your tabletop role-playing experience?
It's a little bit limited. Eden and I are both in what I'm going to call a very occasional Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yeah,
Well, we can
done them with ya.
almost answer this together because the only experience that we've had is playing with each other.
Yes, yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
lovely.
That's true. We are a former guest of this show, Nelson from Reddit on Reddit. wanted to kind of dip his toe into being a DM in Dungeons and Dragons. So he put this team together of people that he knows. And in what we've been playing 2.5 years, Eden.
Yep.
How many sessions collectively do you think we've done? 6?
Yeah. Yeah.
This resonates with me.
It's a long campaign.
Yes.
It's a long campaign. Yeah.
Yes. I also I made a character that I think Nelson, the DM, really hated because it's a very not D&D character. His name was Ben Thompson, and he was an accountant that didn't have any fight. He was a coward, in fact, was the character I came up with him for.
That's my favorite kind. The ones who don't or can't fight.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I'll tell you this, it wasn't only Nelson that hated that character.
No.
Gavin.
Anytime we were being besieged by orcs and it came down to a Ben Thompson roll, everyone collectively put their head in their hands.
But there was a few scenes where you were just sitting in the back of a caravan smoking while we were fighting to the death.
I mean, my favorite character from one campaign that we did was the Fallout one, where I was the child of the vault safety inspector. So all I was
Great.
was the one who wanted safety.
Let's do a crossover. That character with Ben Thompson on an adventure together.
We will make our own super safe, super financially responsible town.
That's perfect.
Love it.
Well, I think we are good to get into the room in that case. Do you have all your notes ready, Danny?
Of course I
Are you ready
don't
to
insult me.
whisk us away into a world of high fantasy?
I wouldn't... Asterisk.
Yeah, it's
Asterisk.
not quite for this room. Well, if you two are ready, you've got your pen and paper,
Got it.
Tick.
then let's get going.
The feeling is grim as you drive up to the building. Sure, it's a sunny afternoon. Couldn't look lovelier for the end of May, but you're in a somber mood, and it looks like everything around you is reflecting that. Certainly, you know the group of people you're about to meet aren't going to be happy. Well, that's just how it is when you're meeting with the local fire department during a wave of arson attacks.
Ooh.
It's been going on all month, stringing its way down every small town in the region. Always the same, a civilian house on a main road. No firefighters or police have been able to catch the culprit. And you know it's one culprit. How? Because after the first couple, this arsonist got bored and started leaving taunting notes at every fire department whose town he hit. Then he started leaving notes before committing the crime, taunting them with clues and sabotaging the firefighters' equipment without them ever even seeing him enter. And somehow, this still hasn't been enough for anyone to track him down. You work for the Department of Emergency Services, which includes firefighting, but you're more a head office type. Everybody at work has shaken their heads and given up on this case, just hoping the arsonist will quit while he's ahead. But you don't believe it. He's struck every few days this month, and now that it's the 31st, you're pretty sure he's got at least one more fire planned. Especially since there's only one town left unhit in the area. So that's where you are now, the fire station of the last possible target. You enter the fire station through the back up some stairs that lead into a small coffee break room. All the firefighters and one receptionist greet you grimly. They haven't even entered the main room of the station today because, well, some of the ways the arsonist has been sabotaging other locations has been kind of hazardous. This coffee room is the only one they've checked out top to bottom. They assure you they've found no funny notes or riddles or anything like that. So if those are around, they are in the main room. You'll have free reign of the station to search, and hopefully you'll find whatever the arsonist has left behind to tell you all about the next fire. The firefighters open the door for you to enter the station proper, then close it behind you. You won't need to go back there until you've found something. Alright, so at this point, you can now draw a map of the area that you'll be playing with.
Great.
Do not bother drawing a door for this coffee break room, it doesn't exist. You have entered through the north wall just east of center. In this northeast corner of the room, there are some lockers. The east wall has a TV mounted on it, with 3 couches arranged in a semicircle around it. Near the west wall are several beds.
And how many beds do we have over there, Dan?
I have drawn 5.
Okay. I only drew 3, so lucky.
I also drew 3.
Ah, come on. I think in my notes I say 5. 3 will do. In the northwest corner, there is a map hanging off the wall. In the center of the north area, there is a U-shaped receptionist's desk with a chair behind it, and on its surface, a phone, an alarm button, and some scattered paperwork.
Oh my god, this receptionist desk is shaped exactly like me. Said it was a
there's
U-shaped desk.
There's a phone,
an alarm button.
alarm, and some paperwork.
Correct. And a chair as well.
And a chair.
Yep.
With 4 exit points.
And in the very center of the remaining floor space, there is a pole going down. You aren't sure what you're looking for exactly. You'll have to dig around through all the firefighters' stuff and see if you find anything from the arsonist amongst it.
Okay. So let's do you want to go over to the lockers first?
You've read my mind, Eden. But I also want to say, Danny, you've read that absolutely beautifully. I just want to compliment you on your reading there. Eden, I'm working on a strategy.
The praising's working.
Well, if you ever need more voice work, this is the problem now. You compliment that too much, and I'll start charging you.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Right. Okay, so we're at the lockers. Okay, let's open a couple of the lockers and peek inside.
Absolutely. Most of these lockers are ajar and, well, they've got nothing in them whatsoever. 2 of them, however, remain locked. One of them with a 6-letter combination lock. Oh, the paper noises. Whew. And one with a sort of wheel lock. It's kind of like one of those spinning combination locks, the standard ones you see on American TV.
Yep.
Only there are no numbers surrounding the circle, only small lines, like the lines on a clock, but with only 8 of them evenly spaced around the circle.
Oh my God, I drew 8. I drew 8 automatically.
Ooh.
This is great.
And I drew 8 once you told me, so we're both pretty good, Eden.
I appreciate it too. You know a little bit about these locks, and you're pretty sure they typically require 3 inputs to open.
Yeah. I used to, at the cinema I worked at, we had to use one of these locks like every single day. The old left-right combination. Okay.
I never understood them.
So if there's movies have taught me anything, all I need is a stethoscope.
Yes.
And this thing is a piece of cake.
And you'll hear the click when it opens, Eden.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so we need numbers for that one, and it's a 6-letter
combo for the other one.
6-letter combo for the other one.
Not even necessarily numbers, because all it had was the direction point markings.
Correct.
It didn't actually have numbers.
Yeah, so 1 to 8. Okay. So I feel like we need more to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, I'm looking at this reception desk over here. It's a treasure trove of information, I assume.
Yes, so we've got the chair behind it, we've got the paperwork, the phone, and the alarm. Which catches your interest the most?
Cambo's choice.
Cambo's choice. Let's start with the paperwork. Get the boring stuff out of the way, because the chair is going to be the key to all this, I think.
You are going to eat your words. You take a quick glance at this paperwork on the receptionist desk. A little bit of everything. There's some legal stuff to be signed, very boring. There are some inter-office memos between firefighters and other staff. There's a list of victims of these recent arson attacks. And there is a thank you card. It's blank right now, but you are pretty sure that it's going to be for you if you do a good job.
Oh, okay.
Billy thought it was suspicious in our playtest when I said it like this.
It sounds a little suspicious.
Birthday card has a picture of a red herring on it.
Can we open it up?
The card, yeah, it's blank, and there's just enough space on it that it will fit your name.
Okay.
But is there any other writing in there, or will it just say Eden and Cambo?
It just said, at the moment, it just says thank you on the front, but you can visualize it in the future. It will have your name, even more praise at your amazing detective work, and it'll be signed by every firefighter.
Oh, that's
lovely.
You know
Eden, I don't know if you heard the tone that she said it, but I'm very suspicious of this card.
I'm super suspicious. I wouldn't be surprised if this card burst into flames at any moment.
Yeah.
That's the firefighter's favorite prank.
Okay, so we've got a phone here as well.
Yeah.
The phone appears to be perfectly normal landline phone. You remember how to use those, you think?
And the last one was an alarm button there.
Indeed. It's exactly as advertised. There's a big red button. It's got the word alarm on it in big, serious letters.
Mm-hmm. My hand is slowly reaching towards it as Cambo holds it back. I'm very tempted, Cambo. I'm very tempted.
Are we in some kind of Moon Knight situation where there's 2 personalities in one body? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're in the wrong body, aren't we? Yeah, this is
And
definitely
I'll be playing Khonshu. when you
Okay.
get it.
Yes.
I haven't
Amazing.
seen Moon Knight, so I'm just gonna smile, nod, and then
Oh,
tell
it's-
you
it was-
that
it was-
you're getting the law wrong.
It was such a witty thing to say.
So, yeah,
You'd
yeah.
seen
Very
the show.
witty. It was
Since
very
you haven't seen it, all of these jokes they're really hitting, Danny. They're really good.
They're great.
Okay, so Cambo, can we just decide? Are we hitting this alarm yet or not?
Well, Eden, you've missed the chair. The suspicious chair.
Sorry.
How many
Yeah.
exit points do we have on the chair?
Yes, I'd like to confirm that.
More than you would think.
Okay.
This place must really value its receptionist because this chair is awesome. It's got a cushioned seat, sturdy back, 8 legs as exit points, and some pretty large armrests. Ooh, hey, what's that? On the left armrest, there is a button panel. It's got 4 outward-facing arrow-shaped buttons arranged in a square. And one of
What?
them has a tiny letter N inscribed on it.
So one of the arrows has a letter N on it.
Uh-huh.
Which so there's
Could
up,
this be
up,
a-
up, down, left, and right at the arrows. Yes. Which one has the N on it?
Depends which way you look, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Could this resemble in any way a compass?
You know what? Somewhat.
Yes. North. Okay. Can we press the N button, please?
You can.
Sorry,
It-
Cambo. Sorry, Cambo. I just jumped ahead there. Is that okay with you, bud?
N button. Yeah, I'm going to allow it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
proceed.
You press the N button and it just doesn't seem to do anything.
The button
Okay.
clearly presses.
Oh yeah, it definitely seems to work.
Yeah, there's like a satisfying sort of click.
Totally.
Yeah.
You get a
okay.
little takunk.
Okay. Cambo, do we want to try some of the other buttons?
Yeah, let's try them all. One at a time. Let's not mash them with the hand, but let's go east, south, and then west.
All of these buttons seem completely functional. They each do that satisfying click when you push them in, but they're the sorts of buttons they don't stay in pushed.
Yep.
In pushed in. They,
In
you
pushed
press
in. Yeah,
them,
you've said
they
it right.
come back out.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Okay.
They're like Game Boy buttons.
Yeah. Good reference.
Do you think we're done at the reception desk, Eden, or is there more you want to investigate?
Just one more thing. Can we just pick up the phone to see if there's a dial tone?
Absolutely there is.
Okay, so it's a working phone. Okay,
So we
cool.
can make prank calls. This is good.
Okay,
This is
excellent. There goes the next 3 hours. Me doing prank calls. Okay, let's check on the beds. The 5 beds, I believe.
Indeed. Each one is labeled numerically, 1 to 5. They're very simple. They're clearly only meant for light naps, not for full-on overnight deep sleep. Each one, it's just a narrow wooden frame, 2-inch mattress, 1 sheet, plain white pillow.
Okay. Can we do the classic thing of looking under the mattresses on each one?
You give them a good ruffle, lift up the mattresses, pull around at the sheets, and ooh, inside the pillow of bed 2, you hear a sort of swishy noise of folded paper. Billy, Foley work.
Oh, wait, I was going to do it with my mouth, but I've got paper.
Oh my God, it's like I'm there.
So you give this pillow slip a good shake until the paper falls out. Based on what you see here, it doesn't look like it's been written by the arsonist, but
Okay.
guess it's informative.
And for people at home, you can see this in the show notes below. But here it is for you. Cambo, would you like to read this out for the audience at home?
Okay. It says, I got to move my screen closer. Hang on. My screen's so far away.
Let me put on my glasses.
It says, heads up. I know you're still settling in after being transferred here. So here's a tip. Neil is a bit of a wild card. It might take you a while to get used to his quirks. Like, if he writes you a note, watch out. If you see him start to practice his fancy sort of calligraphy, it means that he's not saying what he means. Like, if he writes a month of the year, it's not the right one. He actually means the month 6 months away from that one. I know, stupid, right? Well, that's nothing. If he writes a name, he probably means the opposite of what he said. He writes a D, it should have been an E. An O should be an A. And a W should be a G. And the weirdest, if he writes GEBR in that fancy writing, it's actually meant to be PH. I don't know if he thinks it's funny or if his handwriting is just that bad, but get used to it.
Okay, this is huge. This is game changing right here, Cambo.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry,
so
I'm just finishing my notes on this one. Give me a sec.
Okay, so the idea is if we see a month anywhere, add 6 to it. Okay, lock that into our brain cogs. Next thing. Okay, so D should have been an E. Okay, that's interesting. So A, B, C, D, E. So that's the next one across. And O should be an A. A, E, I, O, U should be an A. Okay, that's less easy. And a W should be a G. Okay, and the weirdest, if he writes G-E-B-R in his fancy writing, it's actually meant to be P-H. Mate, okay, interesting.
This Neil sounds like a real character.
He sounds like a real piece of work, this Neil.
The funny part was, so I always use a Patreon donor's name, so thank you so much, Neil. But before in my draft, before I had picked the name for it, I was just using the name Doug. So all of my initial notes just had Doug, so I was getting really mad at Doug while I was writing this.
Okay, so now we're on the prowl for something that Neil's written, yeah?
Yeah.
So if we can find something he's written, then we can really start working it.
There was a couple of memos in that paperwork over at the desk, Eden, inter-office memos. Do you think
Memos? Would you call them the memos?
I would never, but I'm very highly educated, Eden. My pronunciation is second to none, as you heard when I read the note.
Well, let's find some memos. Finding memos we're trying to do now. Okay, let's go check them out and see if anyone from young Neil.
You push aside some papers. Most of them are typed and tabled formally. You're searching for Neil's name. It pops up on a staff list, but he didn't write that, so nothing there. Oh, hold on. There we go. There is a letter handwritten by Neil to his captain. And you're about to see that.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
All of these are available for people at home, but Eden, would you like to have a go reading this one out?
Okay. Captain, we both know I'm kind of a lone wolf. Now, the W there is high, is like thick. What do you call it? Bolded. Okay?
Bolded.
But I like you. So I'd like to level with you about my absinthe on May the 2nd. Bolded. C, I was helping an orphan with her algebra, semi-bolded, homework. Her name was Julie or Juliet, bolded, something like that. But some rich punk in a limo came and yanked the work out of her hands. So what could I do? I chased the car all day, hence the absence. Neil. Interesting. Okay, we've got a lot happening here. I chased the car all day.
Yeah, okay.
Lies from tiny eyes. Okay, so there's a few rules that we already know here, yeah?
Yeah.
So W is G.
Yes, so that's golf.
So that's golf. I'm kind of a lone golf.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
It's all becoming clear.
I've already realized a bit of a pattern here, Eden.
Hit me.
Is that so later in the note here where it says, like, for instance, algebra would actually be alpha. There's also Yankee and Romeo. Romeo being the opposite of Juliet. Yankee when you change the D to an E, and yanked is Yankee.
Yes.
But these sound like when you're doing like call signs and
yeah, this is like what do they call it? The numeric, not numeric.
Yeah.
Phonitos.
The phonetic alphabet.
The phonetic alphabet.
The phonetic
is what we're
alphabet.
after.
Yes.
Yes.
So okay, let's make sure we have all of them here. So the first one is
golf.
Wolf is golf. May. So we want to go 6 months.
6 months. So that should be November because that's part of the. I know that's one of the ones.
Next one is algebra, which will be alpha.
Yeah.
Juliet is Romeo.
Romeo. Yeah.
Limo. So O is an A. So that's
it's Lima.
Yep.
And yanked
is Yankee.
Yankee. Okay, so we've got what? Golf, November, Alpha, Romeo, Lima, Yankee. A. So GNARLY. Gnarly?
Gnarly. It could be gnarly.
It's like tubular.
Well, there's
what surfers. It's like what surfers say.
There's a
It's
six-letter
right
combination.
for a loose cannon like Neil.
Yeah, because Neil is really into like Ninja Turtles. So it's all about being tubular, gnarly, and cowabunga.
I do like the image now of like going to the Oxford English Dictionary to look up gnarly, and the definition is just tubular.
That's just how my brain works.
Gnarly,
See also rad.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we take a step back, to a 6-letter lock because that is,
Yep.
gnarly.
And
is
you want
exactly
to try
6 letters.
gnarly in the 6-letter lock?
Yeah, can we do that? Is that allowed?
Weird.
Ooh, hold on. Let me check the rules.
Yes.
You put gnarly into that letter lock, it clicks open for you.
Gnarly.
Yes.
Tubular.
Cowabunga!
You open up this locker, it's mostly empty. It smells faintly like / methylated spirits / denatured alcohol / alcohol-based cleaning fluid. I have to go through all the iterations for international listeners because not everyone calls it metho.
Okay, good. Classic Australianism there, metho.
Yeah.
You'd almost think from this that Neil had quit and recently cleared out, except there is one small item tucked in the very back bottom corner.
I knew there'd be a small item tucked in the very back bottom corner. I knew it.
Always
What
is.
is it? What is it? What is it?
It's a key.
Key. Okay.
Okay, we've got a key. Is it a skeleton key or just a regular key?
It's shaped like a skeleton, but you're pretty sure it only opens one lock.
Okay, great. It is shaped like a skeleton. I love it.
A gnarly skeleton. He's on a skateboard.
No.
Well, it's all gnarled as well.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's a lot happening here. Okay, so we've got a key now,
We've got a
but
key.
we don't have a lock because that's a dial lock, so that doesn't need a key.
Yep.
Indeed.
We can take the key. Yeah, we're going to take it on our person.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
A key but no lock. How ironic.
Okay, so we've got a few more things in the room,
Yeah.
Cambo.
My eye is drawn to this map, Eden. What do you think about this?
Mate, do you know what I had circled on my notes? Let's go to the map after we get the key. That's literally what I have written
This
down.
is why Cancelled Movie Report succeeds, Eden. This like-minded thinking.
Love it. Okay, we're at the map.
This is not your everyday town map. It's clearly been put together intentionally for the fire department's specific needs. It shows some major landmarks and just the main roads connecting them, none of the little side streets or alleys or things like that. It also has the houses that are on these main roads. There aren't that many because, generally main roads are for businesses and stuff. But since the arsonist has only been attacking on main streets, these were the ones they felt worth noting. And we do have an image of this map for you because there's a lot to it.
So I've linked that for everybody at home. It's in these show notes. But Cambo, when it loads up for you, would you like to describe this perfectly drawn map? This artistic and accurate representation of a town.
Okay.
What does your map look like?
The town is made, it's an unusual thing. Everything's made in circles, which is interesting. There's a cluster of 3 kind of in the middle. We have a school, a theatre, and a set of shops. And then on the 4 corners, we have a university, fire station, factory, and a pool. And then we have a hospital kind of off to the side as well, next to the pool. And then connecting roads all the way through it.
And a town hall.
Yeah. This, I don't want to throw any shade, but I know you guys are from Sydney. This does look like the inner city of Sydney. There's no order to any of the roads and nothing connects to anything else.
Yeah, sure, grid liver. Living in your dumb grid city.
Grid liver. What an insult.
The other thing to note is the small little houses in between, and they're different colours.
That's
So
true.
we've got a whole bunch of colours. We've got green, we've got blues, pinks, reds, yellows, all like sort of, and it doesn't seem to be, to the untrained eye, it doesn't seem to be in any sort of order. But I'm thinking, Cambo, this could be what the next target is. Like this could be, if we figure everything out, this could point to where the next target is.
Yeah, okay. So we need to figure out the system, you're thinking, of colours.
Yeah. I think it's definitely something to do with the colours, but we're not sure what. Let's have a look. I can't see any pattern in there. Oh, actually, hang on.
I'm hanging on.
Just hang on. There is different. So they are definitely between the roads between each area, right?
Yeah.
There are definitely certain numbers of houses between each one. Like it's very on purpose. Like some have 3 between, some have 2, some have 4.
Yep.
Some have, there's a couple with 3s.
Yep. So we've got 3s, 2s, and 4s. And then there's 1 with 1.
There is 1 with 1.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
This
also
could be
a 0 up on the top, right? Well, on one side of the road at least.
Oh, yes, you're right. There is
between
one.
factory and theatre on the
Theatre
right.
is 0. Yeah,
Oh,
0.
yeah, 0.
Okay,
Oh yeah, and
0.
between shops and hospital on the right.
Oh, yeah, damn.
Oh,
They're one step
I
ahead.
remember what I drew.
You must have made a terrible mistake.
Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Do you count the total of houses between each thing? So, like between school and theatre, there's 3 houses if you count both sides. But
Well, we're at
between
the-
school and university, there's 5.
Yes. Yeah. And then so we're at the fire station at the moment. So
Yep.
we're bottom left. And then there's 6, 5, 8, 3, 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Everything is there 5s all the way across? 5. No. I was just seeing if you could trace with 5s.
Yeah,
Now, I suppose
I get you. Were you going up? Were you?
I was going up. So there's 5 between that and the town hall. There's 5 between that and university. There's 5 between that and the school, and then there's 5 between school and shops. And then but then nothing else has 5 there. 4, 5, 6.
This is one of those tough things where you're trying to dissect how much of this is done on purpose and how much of it was just me drawing.
Yes.
Oh, don't do
Curious,
that
isn't
to us.
it?
Don't do that to us. Can we just ask, do we have everything we need
Okay.
to figure?
Eden, could it be as simple as odds and evens?
Could it be that simple, Campbell?
So, like, if you go to the shops, that's 6, and then down to the pool, that's 4, and then to the hospital, that's 4. They're all evens. And then you go to from the hospital to the shops is 2, from the shops to the factory is 4. Whereas on the other side, it's 5, 5, 5.
But the fire station to school. So if we start at the fire station to school is 8, but also fire station to shops is 6. So that's even. So odds. Now there's 2 odds from school to theatre and school to shops. Can we ask if we have all the information we need at this point? To
At
look
this point, you are fine to stop looking at the map for the moment.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay, let's go back to the room. Okay, there's one area that we haven't looked.
Well, there's 2
yet, Cambo.
technically. We've still got the TV and we've got the pole.
This is true. The fun pole. But that's more. That seems like more of a victory thing. You know, you succeed and then you go whee down the pole.
Such as the TV, you're thinking.
Yeah, TV first.
Based on where you are, you will actually have to probably walk past the pole in order to get to the TV. So
We
you're
don't wanna
welcome
see
to
it.
stop
We
to
don't
inspect
wanna
it.
see it.
Okay,
They
you block
close
it.
their eyes.
And then we bang into the pole as we can't see where we're walking. Okay,
right.
we're at the TV.
Straight to the TV. Any interest in the couches or just the TV? Are you going to sit down to watch the TV?
We'll sit in the middle couch to view the TV.
We had some notes in the pillows of the bed. Do you think there could be notes in this couch somewhere?
And if not notes, maybe some loose change, we can buy ourselves something.
So you take a look. These couches, they're all semicircled around the TV. They're pretty comfy. They're all squishy recliners. They are set at just the right angle so that you can lie down, but not too much. You don't see anything irregular about them. And digging through their couch cushions, you find 30 cents.
Right.
Good. I'll just make
But
a
that's
note
just
of that.
that's just for you. It was going to be taped into your thank you card at the end.
Eden, that's going to get us quite a few ghost drops down at the local milk bar.
Yeah. Is that? Hang on. Is the local milk bar on the map?
Oh, I
Let's
forgot
go
it was
back to the map, back to the
1966. Hang on.
We didn't specify a year. Did we? No. Okay, so we've got our 30 cents. That's going to be key later on, I think, Cambo. So let's go back to the TV. Let's have a bit of a fiddle with the TV. Look behind.
TV.
Is it on the TV unit as well?
Or is
It's
it
full on wall mounted.
mounted?
Oh, geez,
Yep.
fancy. All right. I thought this needed
Yeah.
some money, but they're wall mounting their TV, mate.
Well,
Well, that's
here's
what they
the
spend it
thing.
all on.
Here's the thing. The TV is currently off, but you can easily turn it back on. You just need to insert 30 cents.
It all comes
No.
full
We're
circle.
keeping that 30 cents for the ghost drops. We'll
Yeah.
find another way around.
I love it. It feels like you're staying in one of those motels where you got to pay. Yeah, good. Okay, can we? Let's turn it on. Let's turn it on, Cambo. Come on.
Just do it.
You switch on the TV, and the video that plays for you, it's not an actual TV channel. It's what appears to be a special internal firefighters information feed. It's talking about this current arson string. It's talking about the areas that have been hit. So they show you a red brick house in West Airy Bay, a red shingle house in East Boughton, a redwood house in West Chibley, another red brick in South Dunton, another red shingle in East Elby Park, and 2 more red bricks, one in North Foreshore and one in South Grantham.
Eden,
I'm
now,
getting a
now
pattern
call me
here.
crazy, but I've noticed something.
Yes,
They're
it's
all
the
in
weatherboard houses.
No, yeah, we're seeing red a lot, aren't we?
We are. So red, and remember, Cambo.
This is how uninstinctive I am. I started writing down the town names. like for the first 3 until I realized the pattern wasn't going to be the town names. It was the red.
It still could be Cambo. You never know. But we do know that there were red houses on that map.
Yes.
There was red houses. So this is definitely okay. We're getting a bit more information now.
Okay.
How many places did it name? Sorry.
7.
So it's 7. Okay. What do we want to do with that information, Cambo?
Well, let's just see if there's anything else around. Like, can you change channels on the TV, or is it locked to this internal station?
It's locked to this one, and it's repeating itself over and over again like a sad infomercial.
Okay.
Repeater. Okay. So we've got that. Okay. So is that every camera? I don't think there's any. So we found the 30 cents.
Yep.
We've got the pattern of the red.
Yep.
The red houses.
Should we have a quick celebration on the poll before we head back to the map?
Let's do a quick poll celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head on over.
This pole, it's attached way up to the ceiling and it goes all the way down to the floor and presumably through the floor to the room below you. Unfortunately, you can't actually confirm that right now because the circle of floor that surrounds the pole, it's closed. There's what seems to be a movable metal plate that can retract so that the pole can be used, but right now it is unretracted, so there is no space to slide down. You can't see any controls for it immediately nearby, which seems rude. What do they do if it's locked in an emergency? You also realize, Teodis, you haven't seen another way to get to the downstairs area.
Is there a keyhole or anything on this thing that could fit a
There
key?
is not.
Okay, we're going to need to open that at some point, but shall we head back to the map?
Let's head back to the map via the chair. And as we walk past the chair, let's just press one of those buttons again and just see if that affects the pole hole at all.
Yeah, that's good.
Pressing any single button doesn't seem to be having much effect on anything.
Any single button, eh?
Hey, can we press all 4 buttons at the same time?
Just I knew exactly where they were going. And no, pressing any combination of the buttons at the same time also does not produce any effect.
Because you've just saved us 10 minutes of the up one and the left one, the left one and the bottom one. Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, Eden, this is just while we're at the desk. Do you think hitting the alarm button will open the hole in the floor because there's an emergency?
I think at this point we should probably do that.
All right.
It is. You've hit emergency point now.
Yeah.
I was panicking since the moment we came in and the door disappeared.
I was panicking since we found the 30 cents. What are we going to spend it on?
You know what? The firefighters know that you're in here. They know that you're messing around, testing things out. So pressing the alarm won't freak out anybody. So you press the button. Sure enough, alarm starts blaring. Your ears hurt. It is that loud. But underneath it, you swear you hear something else. Some kind of a springy sound? You aren't really sure. So you mess with the button a little bit more and you find that much like a computer, when you hold down the button for several seconds, it shuts off. And that is much better. All right, now, what was that other noise? You look around, see if anything's changed. There is something. The 3 lounge chairs, they're different. So before, they were all nicely, comfortably reclined, but now all their seat backs have sprung into terribly unnatural positions. You figure this must be connected to the alarm button so that any resting firefighters have no choice but to immediately stand up in pain.
It's like a Wallace and Gromit alarm.
Yes.
So yeah, the one closest to you, it's flipped all the way forward to horizontal. So if someone was sitting in it, they'd be folded in half. The next one, not as bad. Its back is standing straight upward. So still more rigid than you could ever comfortably sit in, but it won't kill you. The final one has gone backwards, way back, past horizontal, but not quite all the way to vertical touching the floor.
Okay.
So a person sitting there would have their back super stretched out.
Yeah, that one would like fling you off backwards.
Cambo, do you know what I'm seeing here?
You're thinking the spin lock.
I'm thinking the spin lock. Call me Mr. Spin Lock. Okay, so if we look at these then, I reckon these are points.
Yeah.
So we've got chair, if we've got chair 1, 2, and 3, it looks like we've got spin lock point, which would be sort of, 45 degrees. Is that how you're viewing it?
Yeah. I've actually, because I was trying to visualize it, I've drawn arrows. One is like an arch arrow to the right. One is like, that one's just kind of up. So I guess it's like 90 degrees. And then the other one, I've done an arch arrow to the back.
Okay. I've drawn something in my chairs that looks, It looks more like duck lips. Maybe not lips, maybe a beak. Ducks famously don't have lips. So I'm thinking, so if we do it in nodules,
Yep.
so I think it's nodule 2, nodule 5, and then nodule 8.
Where are you counting the nodules from, Eden? Is nodule 1 at the top?
No, nodule 8 is the top. Sorry. Because I've gone
understood.
one like a clock.
Like a
I've gone
clock.
1,
This
2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I understand.
Yes. Good.
Well, in that case, the lock clicks open for you. You can
Yes.
swing open this locker door. This one has a little bit more inside than the last. At the bottom, there is a small object wrapped in a piece of paper. You unwrap it, it looks like a lever that's been detached from somewhere. And the paper has an authoritative looking message on it. And this one, I'm just going to say. If we're going to make these patrol shifts work, we need to focus on efficiency. We can't be going up and down the same road 5 times. The arsonist will definitely take that opportunity to strike at the other end of town. Efficiency. That means during your shift, you have to drive down each main street once and only once. No backtracking, no doubling up. And you can't skip any streets either. Every street, but every street only once. Start and finish your shift wherever works for you. Just make sure to follow those rules.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, this is good. So this leads us to the map.
Yeah. Is there
Okay.
anything else in the locker apart from those
Yeah.
things?
That's
there's-
it.
So there's
I
a-
thought
so
we were going to
is-
have 30 more cents, Eden.
There's a whole chest full of pirate doubloons that you can take with you.
Okay, so there was you said a lever as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, it seems like it's been detached from somewhere.
Hey, you know the chair?
Yeah, are you thinking that the buttons on the chair have something to do with this lever?
Yeah, is there a little hole in the middle of the buttons of the chair that a lever could fit in?
Sadly, there isn't.
Could a lever fit on the pole in the middle? Is like a crank?
There is no hole for it there either. You have not, in any of your investigations of stuff here, seen anything that looks like it will be the right size or shape for this lever.
Okay. So let's
Back to the map?
back to the map.
Okay.
Hey, can we just check? Is there anything on the back of the map? The back side of the map?
Damn, I wish I'd put something there.
Oh, there's a whole chest full of pirate doubloons back there.
We are raking it in.
So many doubloons.
Okay, so we're back at the map.
Now, presumably, we need to do 2 things, Eden. We need to identify red houses,
Yeah.
and also we need to work out what this code is with going down each main street only once.
The instructions were efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Yeah. So you can only
Which
go
you'd
down.
think they should only say once.
Yeah, how ironic.
So there's a bunch of streets, and we could only go down each street once, starting at the fire station.
Yep.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah, we need to come up with a route that hits everything. And it's red houses. It's got to be something to do with red houses as well, surely.
Now, keep in mind that this looks to you like it's written by someone at the fire station. Probably not written by the arsonist. So it might not necessarily lead you towards Arson House.
Looking at this, trying to work out a route that will lead us back without doubling up on streets. I've yet to find one, Eden.
Hang on. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Cambo, we're currently at
The
the fire
station.
station.
Yep.
If my powers of
We're down in the
deduction
bottom left
corner. Yes, correct. Okay, so we're down there. Now, if we need to go, now there's 3, I'm going to say it, there's 3 exit points from the fire station.
Yeah.
Because there is, which means that we've got to come out and then go back and then come out again. So you can't actually get back to the fire station.
Yeah, other than we have to go down each street only once, but if we can go to the fire station, so say, for instance, we go to the fire station, from the fire station to the school,
Yeah.
up to the university, and then back down to the fire station, then over to the shop, say. Like,
Yeah.
is that allowed, Danny?
So 1, 2.
Doesn't seem like it was against the rules.
Okay.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've done. Okay, so if we knock that out, yeah.
That was just an example, though. I don't know if that's necessarily the pattern you would start with, but I think so. The shops, I think, will be a similar thing.
Yeah, so you could go if you did that, right? And then you're back at the fire station, and then you went from fire station to shops, shops to school, school to theatre, theatre to factory, factory to shops, shops to hospital, hospital pool, pool to shops.
Yeah, but then you got to get back to the fire station.
But you can't get back, Cambo.
The note did say start and finish wherever you want. Wherever works for you.
Oh,
Okay, so we could start at the fire station, end at the shops.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
as far as I heard, you said a completely valid solution.
Yeah, you did a nice loop.
Are you happy with that then, Eden? That route that you arbitrarily set?
Yeah,
It worked.
It did work.
Now, what have you accomplished with it, though?
Yeah,
That's another question.
it just depends whether we need to link in these red houses.
He's attacking red houses. We know that. We can take that to the bank.
Okay, we've still got this bloody lever and everything.
Yeah, there might just be some things like there just still might be some things to keep in the back pocket.
Okay, so we'll just hold on to the lever for now because I don't think we've got any
Yeah.
close to that. Have we now got all the information we need for this?
You can stop looking at the map
Okay,
again.
thank you.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, I love it. Okay, back to the room. Hey, we never mentioned anything on the south side of the room, did we?
Glorious visage of the outside world.
Oh, check it. There might be clues in the visage.
Oh no, there's just so many chests of doubloons out there.
Just out of reach.
Just out of reach is right there.
Should we just check the what did we call it? The U-shaped secretary desk. Now there was a list of victims or something, wasn't
That
there?
was very tragic.
Let's have a list. Let's have a listen.
You can pick up this piece of paper. You'll get an image of it. It's the 7 houses, 7 owners. You are not aware of any immediate connection between them. You haven't heard anything.
So we've got a list of what looks like dates down one side of the page. So it's the 1st of the 5th, 5th of the 5th, 10th of the 5th, 18th. So it's all May, all November if Neil's doing this, 23rd, 26th, 29th. And then we've got names next to each one. So we've got Izzy Delenzo, Maggie Williams, Henry Stevenson, Jim Rewalt, Mary Hancock, Rick Henley, Ed Steinfeld. And down the bottom it says, note, the dates seem random with no particular pattern or importance to them.
That's a rookie observation by whoever wrote this note. I think there is a pattern to these dates.
Note.
Okay. Wait, Eden, they're all the same month. Pattern number 1.
Oh my
This
god.
is good. You've really hit this one. So 1, 5, 10, 18, 23, 26, 29. Okay. And today's the 31st, I believe.
Yes.
Let's have a look at these letters, these names, Cambo. Let's ruminate in them a bit. So J, is there anything initials? Initials is usually good.
Are any of these Patreon pledges so we know to ignore the initials because they might not line up?
No, these ones, not Patreon at all. You can make fun of them.
Okay, good.
Maggie
Williams. Come on.
Okay, let's talk it through, Cambo.
Yeah,
what are you seeing? What are you seeing? So what do you've got here?
At the moment, I've got written down all of the initials.
Yes.
That's it. That is nothing's jumping out at me there. ID, MW, HS.
It does definitely look like. I think your first instinct of like you tried a few things with these names, but there doesn't seem to be anything super obvious.
Maybe
No.
they're just super immersively chosen names, and you should just appreciate them for what they are.
Could you say we've got all we need from this list at the moment?
I would.
Okay. So is there any more papers that we need to explore?
Nah, you got them.
Okay, so we've got the papers. So we've got a list of names. We've got a lever. We've got the north chair buttons.
It's
And-
really the amazingly exity receptionist chair that I think the focus is.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that it's got an actual puzzle on it. Okay, so can we go and sit in the chair?
Absolutely. You
Okay.
feel it's so good. You feel like Dr. Evil.
Oh, love it. Okay, what did we learn about the chair, Cambo?
8 legs. I'm
Eight
assuming.
legs.
I'm assuming this is an office chair style thing.
Just super modified.
Could the 8 legs correspond to the 8 little strokes on the other lock?
Perhaps, but you've already opened that lock.
Yeah, that's
the
done. Forget that.
The
Throw that out.
8-leg exit points were just for our benefit.
Okay. Can the chair? We can move the chair around.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to do that for a while. Just roll around in the chair. Okay. So it's got to be. Is there any? Do we have everything we need to?
I will say, you have encountered the thing that you need to solve this puzzle,
Oh,
and you
great.
immediately said, "Well, I'm not going to pay attention to that. How stupid!"
This is true.
And you actively disregarded it.
Oh God.
You went out of your way to. You even one of you even said that it would be silly to pay attention to this. A waste of everyone's time and bad. And then you threw the clue away.
Can we play back the tape? Can we play back the
The
tape?
thing is,
So what? I'll play it
if
back right now. I'll do it. Here it is. This is the moment.
This is how uninstinctive I am. I started writing down the town names, like for the first 3, until I realized the pattern wasn't going to be the town names. It was the red.
Now everyone at home knows, but you still have no
no.
idea. That's called dramatic irony.
Oh, love it. Love it.
I think I do. Maybe I'm just trying to pass the buck here, but I think I actually remember you, Eden, saying, "Oh, well, that's nothing," and I was like, "Oh, well, he's better at escape rooms than me, so I guess it's nothing." Was that right, Bill? Was it Eden that said it was nothing? But the problem is, I remember that, but I don't remember what the thing was anyway.
It was you.
It was me?
You tried to bring attention to it, and then you immediately also said, "No, I'm not going to do that. That would be nothing." So it's all on you. The joy, the success, and the failure combined is all on Cambo.
Okay.
This is now my worst nightmare coming to life because I am ruining the escape room as I feared I would.
Well, look, Eden didn't even care.
Okay, so we've come into the room. And now we're just going to backtrack. So we've got lockers.
Yeah.
We've got lockers to our left, yeah?
Yeah.
And is that there was an empty one, yeah? That had nothing in it, and the other 2 were locked.
They've been thoroughly searched.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we got the lever from one of the lockers.
Yep. Yep.
And what was the
that's
second
fine.
item in the locker that we got from there?
A key.
A little
key.
It was
key.
a key. Yep.
Key. And then
we found anything the key opens. though.
Neil's
Ah.
locker that we opened, the 6-digit code. What was in there?
That was
was
the one with the
the-
key and fragrance.
Oh yes, it smelt like methylated spirits,
Oh yeah, Metho.
but that's not it.
Oh damn it. Okay, keep going around the room. So there was that. There was lockers, and there was the lever. Obviously, we've got the lever.
We went to
There's-
the chairs and the
Yeah,
TV.
we went to the reclining chairs. We've solved the chairs because the chairs was
Chairs are solved.
Chairs are solved.
Losers.
The TV had the
Repeating
the-
message.
that had the repeating message, which was the what was the repeating message? Do you remember what the repeating message was?
I'm looking back through my notes.
Oh, that was the houses.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Cambo. You said you started writing down the names of the houses,
Oh,
but
the
then that was
towns.
that was the dumbest thing ever that you ever thought of, and you immediately shut it down. Yes.
Would you like to listen to the message of those houses?
Can we go back to those houses?
Yes. All right. Let's switch on the TV again.
You have to wait 15 minutes for the loop to start over again, but then you get it.
Cambo, I don't have 30 cents.
no.
But you know the value of a single pirate doubloon?
Yeah.
So that-
very good. Oh god. Okay, this is amazing. Yes, this is 100%. Okay, go. Okay, let's listen to the TV again.
Well, the first house of the first victim was in West Airy Bay.
West Airy Bay,
Yeah, and then the second one was in East Boaton.
West East,
Then West Chibley.
West. Oh my god, I can't believe we didn't get this.
And then South Dunton.
Oh my god, it's just smacking us in the face like a pair of fish lips.
East Elby Park. And then North Foreshore and South Grantham.
Oh
All
god.
right. What do you reckon it means, Eden? All these names.
Back to the map, Cambo.
Where's Grantham?
Okay.
Grantham.
Okay,
So we've got west,
West,
East,
East,
west, south,
South,
East,
North,
north, south.
South. Yep, cool. So my back's starting to hurt a little, Camo. So I think we need to sit down in the chair
Okay.
and let's get our little buttons out and let's give them a crack with our new combination.
You press those buttons, there is a mechanical whirring, and across the other side of the reception desk, you see something moving. It's the metal circle surrounding the
Yes.
pole opening up.
Are we going for a slide, Cambo?
Well, we'll peer down first to make sure it's not like a pit of fire or something. But then if all is safe, let's slide.
Okay, is there a pit of fire down there?
Yeah, but you're feeling daring.
Okay, Cambo. Okay, Camo, on the count of 3, we're going to go down.
All right. Ready?
Okay, 1, 2,
3.
3.
Whee!
Did we do it? Did we win?
We have technically escaped the room. I will say that.
This is what I'm thinking. Good.
You manage to land quite smoothly, and you take a look at your new surroundings in the downstairs room.
Love it.
On the wall, not far from you, there is a fire extinguisher.
Good.
Against the right wall is a set of tall cubbies with firefighting uniforms hanging neatly on hooks and shelves. And taking up most of the space is an enormous fire truck. Its doors are closed, but hanging off either side of it, you see a ladder and a big coiled hose. You don't see stairs, so it's a good thing you've been working out lately, because you're going to have to climb the pole back up if you ever need to go back there.
Good. Okay, Cambo, what do you want to hit first? Cambo's choice.
Let's go to the cubbies.
There are 4 complete uniforms here, organised neatly in a line from left to right. Each one has a helmet, a coat, and a pair of boots. You aren't sure whether they're supposed to be individualised or if in an emergency you're just supposed to grab whatever's closest, but from experience, you know people tend to have a favourite, so everyone ends up having their own, even if you're technically meant to share.
Okay, can we rummage through each uniform to see if there's anything of value in any of the pockets or anything?
Certainly, you stick your hands in the uniform pockets and see what comes out. The leftmost uniform, it has some soot which stains your fingertips.
Damn.
The second one in the pockets, nothing except for the smell of methylated spirits,
Okay,
and
that's new.
well, at least when you withdraw your hand, your fingers are a little bit less stained. The third one just has a chewed up toothpick. Who does that? And the fourth one, there's nothing at all, which makes sense because the pocket lining, oh man, it has really thinned out. You can feel just holes in that one.
Ah, okay. Can we check in the boots? Is there anything in the boots?
There is nothing inside the boots.
And there's nothing on the helmets.
No, each one has a number on the helmets, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
3, 4. Okay, cool. Can we take the toothpick?
Yes.
That's just for us. That's not for the game.
Oh, okay.
One smelled like methylated spirits and our fingers came up less grubby.
No, incorrect, Cambo. You've made a fatal mistake again. Number 2.
No, I
Smelled
meant
like
one uniform. I've written it down. 1 has soot, 2 has methylated spirits, 3 has a toothpick.
But when you said 1 has methylated spirits,
No, I understand.
You can see my confusion.
I understand how language works.
Okay,
Because if I said 2 has methylated spirits, you're like, no, only 1 of them has methylated spirits.
You've seen right through my devious plan, Kevin. And that was so I feel like we're in a who's on first situation. But we're assuming that that's Neil because we smelt the same
Yeah, but
smell.
there must be something because our things came out less. Did you say less sooty? So there
Well,
might
I mean,
yeah, no,
that's,
just a
that's
little
the
bit.
metho.
like hand sanitizer style.
That's the metho, like cleaning
Yeah,
your hands.
just a little residue. It cleaned you a little.
Right. Yeah, so it was just residue. There's nothing actually in the pocket.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And there's nothing. So we've searched We've searched everywhere we can search in there.
All right, shall we look at the fire extinguisher?
Yeah. Let's go to the old fire extinguisher.
You take a look at it, you know that the exact color of a fire extinguisher tells you what substance is inside it. There's one color for water, one for CO2, chemical powder, whatever. Each one of those is good for a different type of fuel-based fire.
Yep.
Words.
Correct. Yep.
You do not recognize this one. It's red with a single purple stripe. And weirdly, there are no words or instructions printed on the body of this extinguisher like you'd be used to seeing. So whatever this one's good for extinguishing, you have no idea.
Eden, I kind of want to fire it.
I think we should. Can we give it a little? How's you
Test
going?
burst?
Yeah, just a little.
You can. Some sort of mystery foamy chemical comes out.
Doesn't smell
It's-
like methylated spirits.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Onto the fire truck, the
Yeah,
big boy.
Which has the ladder and the hose on it as well.
Ladder and hose.
Mhm.
So let's go check the hose out now, please.
Yep. The hose is completely coiled up and it's fixed firm to the side of the truck. The binds that are holding it there are connected by some kind of big master lock. It's complicated looking. It seems to be made of several holes with deep grooves interconnecting them. You're going to see a picture.
Oh, great.
The people at home, if you want to click on the link below, you can see it yourself. But otherwise, would you like to describe what you're seeing here, Cambo?
Okay, this is the same layout, if I'm not mistaken, as the town map.
I'm just checking that visually, and yes, I would agree with that statement
Yes.
wholeheartedly.
Which seems to be like a pattern of like triangle type formations of circles and lines between them. Is there any place we could put a lever
any of those holes looks like it would be a good place to stick that lever.
I don't reckon this is going anywhere, Eden. Let's abandon
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, make sure let's instantly disregard. Okay, so the question becomes, what hole? Do we put it in the fire station
No,
hole?
we do the path, Eden.
Oh, we do the path.
We do the path.
Do the path.
What was the path?
So-
we replicate the path which started at the fire
That's how you
station
cheat.
and ended at the,
at
what
the
was it?
shops. Yeah, so we just got to do this path.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which we
so-
all remember, to be clear.
You get the lever into that hole that represents the fire station. You move it around. You go over every direction. No repeats. You get the lever into that final hole representing the shops, and it clicks into place, sinking in slightly.
Oh, I love that feeling.
And the locking mechanism swings open. You now have access to the fire hose.
Awesome. It's like Christmas, Cambo. Let's unfurl the
let's
hose
unfurl,
now.
let's
Let's unfurl.
Absolutely. Now, you hear these things when they're turned on full pressure can do some serious damage, so maybe don't do that unless there's an actual fire. But as you unfurl, you do see there is a design on the hose. It's covered in images, fire safety images, which makes sense. You see some infographics about how to use this type of hose. It also tells you everything you could ever want to know about the dangers of fire, and there's a large segment showing different types of fire extinguishers.
Oh,
okay.
Do we have an image? Do we have an image of this?
You do not.
Oh,
But are you
okay.
looking for anything in
Well, we're looking for the
I'm
purple
looking for
stripe.
the purple stripe fire extinguisher.
You do see red with purple stripe. There is indeed, as you guessed, a special type of chemical foam, and apparently it works interestingly. It works on oil, but specifically, like if there is currently an oil fire, it wants you to spray this foam as hard as you can. However, if there was any remaining oil not on fire, this foam can also get rid of that, but you have to use it in very short, sharp bursts, not all at once.
Okay. So the purple is to get rid of oil, and it can get rid of it completely in short, sharp bursts.
bursts.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So can we? The other thing in here. So let's just go check the
The
ladder
ladder,
side. Yeah. The old ladder.
The ladder, it's hanging sideways, suspended from one side of the truck. It's an extendable ladder. It can fold over itself and have the top half slide up and down when needed. Right now, the top half is folded over and locked into place, which is a pity because you can see some letters on the rungs of the bottom half, and this one you are going to get an image.
Yes, so I'm seeing your classic fireman's ladder. Now, it has several rungs, slightly different shades of grey. Not 50, more like 2. We've got an M, a P on one rung. We've got a B and an E on another rung, and an H and an R on another rung. And then my keen eye has spotted a small lock top left that could be the size for a little skeleton key, Cambo, possibly. Can we use the key in that little lock?
The key that you got from Neil's locker fits
Correct.
into this lock.
Boom. Let's twist that.
When you do, the folded over half of the ladder loosens a bit. It can now slide up and down.
Let's slide
So
it.
You slide it,
Oh,
and you
another image.
see a new version of the ladder.
Yeah, see, this is good. Okay, so this version of the ladder now it's slightly it's slid up and it's given us more letters. So now we've got a J, a U on another rung, an O and an N on another one, a D and a T and an E and an E. So now this is looking very similar to our list of old mates. Let's just go back a couple of notes and see if there's anything that lines up
Yep.
with any of that.
So I've got the victims here. So, for instance, the first one is Izzy. So
Yep.
ID are the initials there.
I'm not seeing any I's. Or
No, nor am
D's.
I.
Okay, MW.
There's an M.
Yeah, we've got an M. There's no W. So is there HS? Now there's an H, but there's no
Yeah,
S.
H and no S, yep.
JR. There is a J and an R.
But not on the same rung.
Not on the same rung.
So
No,
J is at the top, R is second bottom.
bottom. Yeah. And then we've got an MH. Any M's? Yeah, we've got an M
M,
and an H there. Yeah, there's an M and an H.
but again, not on the same rung.
No. You can't, the ladder can't move anymore, can it?
No, you've now seen all the rungs.
So
that
we've
have
seen all
anything
the
on
rungs.
them.
So we've got every single rung now, don't we, Cambo?
yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
What are you thinking, Cambo? Let's talk it out. Let's talk it up, bud.
Okay, so I I thought we were onto something here with the victims and the letters,
Yep.
but there's just no pattern emerging. I mean, there probably is. Bill will probably edit some kind of clue in that'll make us look a fool like he did earlier.
J-U, so
But are you
J-M.
seeing any pattern?
I'm just looking at the letters now that they're in a new order. Jaw, Jumbo, Jip, Jid. No, it's not that. Instead of going totally insane here, let's just check out the fire truck as well.
Okay,
Can we look underneath the fire truck?
Oh, just in the cabin, yeah.
Yeah, in the cabin and stuff.
You can check out a lot of it. It's big, red, shiny, more or less ready to go. There seems to be something seeping out from under it. You peer underneath the body of the truck and there is a massive black puddle there, which is unnerving. Doesn't look like it's come from the truck. Could the arsonist have put it there to try to sabotage the truck when its wheels took off or something?
Does it look like an oil?
Yeah, does it look oilish?
Does look definitely related to oil, yes. Yeah, you keep that in mind and you just look at the rest of the body of the truck to be sure. You make your way to the driver's side door, which is locked with a combination lock of all things, numbers. Maybe it's easier to remember a combination than a key if you're in a hurry. To make sure the firefighters can't forget the password, helpfully, there is a paper note stuck up in the window.
Yes.
And it says, "This week's cleaner's buttons, Neil's shoes, longest servings helmet."
Now, do you remember that original note that we had? Because that mentioned someone's been here for forever.
He might have been here for a while, but you get used to his quirks. But what I'm thinking is, you said the uniforms are generally, even though they're meant to be shared, they're people's, and one of them had worn out pockets. So that's the oldest jacket. Therefore, the helmet.
And then the Neil's is the
Neil's
boot,
shoes will be with the methylated spirit
so
smell.
It's 4-2.
4-2. So what do we have? Neil's shoes. Are they the only two things? What were the rest of the clues?
The first one was this week's cleaner's buttons.
Oh, this week's cleaner's buttons. So the oldest is the 4th.
Yep.
Now the third one had a toothpick. The first one had soot, wasn't it?
Yep. And the second had the methylated spirit smell.
I'm just thinking, so the cleaner would have methylated spirits.
That would make sense.
Because they've been cleaning.
Yep.
So the cleaner is number 2.
Was the cleaner's buttons, to be quite precise.
Buttons as in jacket?
Jacket. So how many buttons does the cleaner's jacket have?
You take a look, and the second uniform, it seems to be missing a couple. It's got 8 buttons out of looks like a possible 10.
8. All right.
8.
Neil's shoes. I'm assuming.
Neil's shoes.
Does he have 2 shoes?
There are 2 shoes there. You examine them and you're taking a look and tipping them open to see if there was anything inside them earlier. They do have sizes listed.
Yeah, what size?
Oh, yes. Yep.
They are a size 10.
Size 10. Oh, that's great. So it's 8,
and then
10, and then...
Oh, what number is on the helmet?
The helmet.
The helmets were the ones that were 1 to 4.
Yeah, that was 4.
4.
Yep. So it's
8, 10, 4.
8, 1, 0, 4. Well, let's try that combination-wise.
You put that in the driver's side door of the truck and it opens. You can climb on in. It's pretty high. Most of what you see is like a normal truck, just bigger. There are definitely some extra controls and communications you don't know how to use. Maybe not mess with those. You're about to get back out when you spot something poking out from above the passenger seat sun visor. You pull that out. It's a ticket to the local theatre for an upcoming production of Henry VIII. There's a seat allocation, a phone number for the theatre, but sadly, no name of who the ticket owner is.
Okay, do you think the seat allocation and phone number are going to have something to do with this, Eden?
Yeah, I think so. And there was a theatre in the town diagram
there
as
was,
well.
there was.
So do we know what those the seat allocation numbers were?
Yeah, what did you say it was in the playtest?
Oh, E24.
You made it way worse than that. I think you made it row L.
L24. It is a seat.
It is a seat.
In a
E24,
theatre.
Okay,
and it's
but
a
your
theatre.
nonchalant answer makes me think that we're following a dud path.
There wasn't any chalant in that. at
Okay,
all.
we got a phone number and we got a phone upstairs, Eden. What's the phone
Yeah.
number?
It's a real sounding phone number.
Oh,
Good. Yeah,
that,
good.
that does
13.
sound real.
Yeah.
30.
32.
Thank you.
I don't think it's
We've done
pronounced. I don't think it's pronounced that way. Actually,
Yeah.
Sorry,
you
it's
know.
13, 30, 32.
You know,
Uh,
interesting fact about that kid. This is a kid from an
Very,
ad. Yeah.
very, very niche reference here.
Don't worry about it. Though anybody who'd listened to this show long term, we've described this ad multiple times. So everyone,
Most
our
certainly.
audience is filled in on the 13, 30, 32 kid.
Do
They
you know that kid never got paid for that role?
Oh,
Do you know they filmed it and they told him it was a test that they wanted to see whether he could do it. They go, okay, just do this, just say the words. Yep, 13, 30, 32. And they're like, cool, that's it. Yeah, we'll let you know if we want to get you back to record it. They never called him back, and then he saw it on TV.
That is
Oh,
the most famous
he never
kid
got-
outside of Bronson on Round the
Yeah.
Twist.
And that kid,
that's horrendous.
that kid, Anthony Albanese. So he's done well for himself.
Before we go, though, do we want to do the oil?
Yeah,
Underneath?
and just to make it, there was nothing else in the cabin of the fire truck.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
You've now got
Yeah.
a good solid few leads that you can follow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do oil.
Let's do the
Campbell.
oil.
And by the way, we want long, continuous bursts on this oil.
Long
If my
continuous
if my
bursts.
memory serves me correctly, which I think it does, Campbell.
Yeah, I think
You're going to end up with more oil than you started with.
Yeah. Okay, short bursts. We're going short bursts.
You take the extinguisher over to the truck, you aim it at the oil spill, and you let fly. The foamy stuff bursts out, but after a second of firing, you pull back, you stop. Some of the foam has hit the oil, and it's fizzing slightly. It kind of looks like the two substances are dissolving each other. So after a moment, you fire another short burst, then another pause, then another burst. And between each one, you can definitely see there is less oil than there was before. And pretty soon, you've fired enough that the foam has completely demolished the oil. And with no oil there, you can now clearly see there are words that have been written right there on the floor in marker.
And I have sent you a link to the words that are written. One of you like to read this out to the people at home.
Okay. If you remove
What? Sorry. In an appropriately creepy voice.
If you remove the first letter from each landmark, some of them still make normal English words. The house that I've chosen has exactly one such landmark at one of its ends.
Okay.
Well, Eden, this could mean anything.
This could mean this is quite good. Okay, this is really hitting home now. So we've got the arsonist is in the room with us.
He also could be
Yes.
Emperor Palpatine.
Well, there was a little bit of
Your faith in your friends is yours.
but let's have a look. If you remove the first letter of each landmark, some of them still make normal English words. Okay, so should we Campbell,
Are you thinking
you're
we have
with
to go
me?
back upstairs?
Yeah. Well, we know we can
Because
before we
yeah. Does anyone think that there's anything else to be gained from this floor before we move upstairs?
Are you talking to me, Cambo?
I'm just generally speaking.
Are you just saying it out into the void? are
Just
you?
out into the void.
So yeah, you've got this now, you've got the phone number, and there was that ladder, don't forget. Those are the three big
Yes.
things that you're going for. I
Okay.
don't think that you need to necessarily be staying downstairs
Okay.
for anything else.
Can we
at the
use the ladder to get back up through the hole rather than have to climb the pole?
You don't want to test yourself?
No.
All right, well, the ladder is so heavy that it turns out it's even more of a burden than climbing up the pole would have been, but you manage because you're doing pretty well in life.
This is great. We've ripped Cambo. That's fact.
That's canon now.
Yeah,
the
that's
other
canon.
when you walked in, the other firefighters were jealous.
And they're firefighters.
Okay.
All right.
So let's get back to our map.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you remove the first letter from each landmark, some of them still make normal English words. The house that I've chosen has exactly one such landmark at one of its ends.
Do you think it's Aya Station? Could it be that?
Aya Station? Yeah, it really gets my ire. Hops.
I mean, that is a
That's
normal,
a normal English word. Hops.
It is Aya. Yeah,
Hops.
hops is good.
That's a normal English word.
Ool. No. Hospital.
Not quite.
No.
Actory.
Oh, go to the hospital.
Yeah, depends if you're a Cockney English. Let's see, town hall, own all. So really, it's just. I think we're leaning towards shops, aren't we, Cambo?
Yeah, that's the only one I can see.
Aya Station
Aya
is
Station
real.
is real English. It's a station full of ire.
Okay, it's okay. Okay,
And there was-
we'll put that down as a maybe.
There was one other one as well.
Hang on.
The way that you said it was like one of those word puzzles where like when you're doing Wordle and you're just saying it wrong.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Oh, own.
Yeah.
The own
Own-
hall.
Hole.
Yeah, got it. Own
And
Hall.
where else could you study drama other than the actory?
Oh, great.
That one's not right.
Well, the actory
spent-
is right next to the theatre, so that makes sense.
3 years at the actory, and this is where I end up on this podcast.
Hops, Aya Station, Own Hall.
Okay, cool. So what was the rest of the clue? If you remove the first letter from each landmark, some of them still make normal English words, which we've got. The house that I've chosen has exactly one such landmark at one of its ends.
So yeah, that means like at the end of its street. Like, yeah, all of the houses are between two landmarks.
Yes. Let's have a look.
Own Hall has a red house next to it.
Yes, so between Own Hall and University, that road would have a red house on it.
Yep. Between Aya Station and Hops, there's a red house right next to Hops.
But pay attention carefully to the rule about Aya Station and hops.
Let's have a look. The house that I've chosen has exactly one such landmark
Okay.
at one of its ends.
Mm.
So it's only one. So yeah, okay. Yeah, so one of its ends. So it could be Eye Station and school because it's at one of its ends.
Mhm.
It could be
And
Town
then-
Hall and University.
Yep.
It could be
Hops and school.
could be
Yeah.
Hobson School. It could be Hobson Factory.
Mm.
Could be Hobson Hospital.
Hospital, Hops and Pool.
Hobson Pool,
Hops
okay.
really gives you a lot of options.
Yeah, Hops is really all over the place. You've removed the first
Bloody
letter.
Hops.
Yeah, so house that I've
But you know
chosen is
what? It has helped. It's narrowed down a little bit.
Yeah, it's cut out some of them. So maybe we need more information before it gives us everything, Cambo. So let's go to the phone. Shall we go back to the phone?
Let's do it. Let's ring the number for the theatre.
Ring a ding ding.
You dial the numbers on the ticket into the phone. You hear 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings, and then someone picks up. You have reached North Theatre. Oh, it's a recording. If you wish to make a booking, press 1. If you wish to discuss or change a current booking, press 2.
Let's do 2.
Yeah, I suppose so. And this time, a person picks up.
Now, here's the thing. Eden and I have both worked at theatres, so we will be critiquing the performance of a theatre work here very, very minutely.
That's why I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to
Ah, he's
North
done it.
Theatre.
He's done
May
it.
I have
Oh.
the name of your show and your seat number to confirm your identity?
Henry VIII, E24.
E24.
All right, let me have a look. Boop-a-doop, doop-a-doop, looking through. Oh, here we go. Where could it be? Ah, good evening, Mr. Furno. I hope you're well.
You have a surname. You
Furno.
have a surname.
Furno.
It's not Inferno.
Yes, that's what I have in my books. Furno.
No.
Okay.
Real
Okay.
clever, Mr. Arson Face. All right. Well, you know, maybe she knows something else. Maybe there's something else in this booking that could help.
Excuse me, do you know anything else?
Yes, I do, actually. If you'd like to ask a specific question, you could, but otherwise I'll tell you what it says here in these notes. It says you have a few bookings lined up in the current season. Would you
the
like
bookings,
a
of
reminder of
course.
which shows
Yes.
you've booked?
Yes,
please.
yes, please. I don't know why I'm doing a voice.
Oh, no, please, it makes me feel more comfortable.
She's an immigrant.
I feel less alone if you speak like me. Okay, so
Okay,
after
tell us which one. Go for it.
Okay, I will. Here we go. After this coming one, you've got Richard III, Margaret the First, Mary the First, Isabella the Second, Edward the Seventh, and James the Sixth. Wow, you really like royalty, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you want me
Okay.
to repeat that list slower so you can make your own notes?
Okay.
Eden, I've got 8311276. You got the same?
You got 8. I got 3.
Henry VIII is the first.
Oh, okay.
You got Henry VIII, Richard
Richard
III,
III. Yeah.
Margaret the First,
Yep.
Mary the First,
Isabella
the Second, Edward the Seventh,
7th.
and James the Sixth.
Okay.
Wow, you really like royalty, don't you?
Thanks.
This is great. Okay. Edward the First.
What were the two
Yep.
firsts, Edward?
Margaret and Mary.
It was Margaret the First and Mary,
the
the First.
First. Yep. So are they the names that we saw before
Yeah, I
the
got
victims' names?
HRMMIEJ. Okay, we got Mary Hancock.
Okay.
All right, so we have a Henry
Okay.
Stevenson
Yep.
and
Henry.
Henry VIII.
So Henry VIII. Yep.
We have a Richard.
We have
third.
the Rick. Yeah, Rick the Third. Yep.
We have was it Mary first?
No, it was Margaret.
Maggie.
Yeah.
Margaret the First.
You never hung up.
Margaret. Mary.
What are we solving a mystery or something? I really like being part of this. Come on, catch me up on the clues. I don't want to be left out.
Pay me in doubloons.
I take the balloons if you need any famous.
We have okay, and then we also have Izzy,
Yep. Which is Izzy. Yep.
uh,
The second and Ed.
Edward, and then we have James.
Yeah. Cool. So that all
But
correlates.
they are not in the order. The order of the showings is not in the order of this list.
No, it's not. And there's two firsts as well.
There is two firsts.
Mary and Margaret.
There's Margaret the First.
Okay.
Do we rearrange the names on the victims list to correspond with the showings? So it would technically start with Henry Stevenson.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's do 10. 10, 5. So HS. Yeah. Now what have we got? Henry. So Richard the Third,
Yep. So
which
Rick.
is Rick Henley.
Now you know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Oh, no, what is it?
mate.
Oh, it's Margaret the First.
So it's Maggie Williams. And then we've got Mary the First. Then we've got Izzy 2. Then we've got Edward the 7th. And James the 6th. So Jim. It's going to be the order. And well, we didn't use anything to do with the first, second, third, fourth, did we?
No, not yet.
So we haven't. So that's obviously something to do with it. So, okay. So that was 8. So 8311276. 8311276. Now I wonder. So obviously it's going to spell out something, but what does it spell?
So if we rearrange them numerically, so
we've got
M
that.
M I, like do it that way. Do you think that will lead to anything? What do we
Okay.
do with the two ones?
Yeah, well, that's the thing that's blowing my mind, Cogs. That there's two ones, because I was thinking it's like, well, this is easy. It's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, there's 2 1s. There's no 4. There's no 5.
5. Oh, unless it's the 8th letter in the name, and it's the first letter.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Henry VIII. So the 8th letter
Of Henry Stevenson.
E. I think I've counted that right.
Yeah, so it could be E, or it could be just the last name or something. But we'll try this first. So, and then what? And then 3
Yep, Richard III.
is what? C.
C.
Then Mary. So I'm going to do this as I go. So that's what? That's M. I'm thinking it could be last names now, because this isn't giving us anything. But let's just keep going. 2 Izzy is 2, which is a Z. Yeah, I don't think this is.
Okay, should we switch
I
to
think
last
it's
names?
last. I think it's last names. I think it's last names because this is. Yeah, let's try last names.
Yeah, that Z
so-
would be a killer.
Yeah, I just realised that. Yeah, so 1, 2.
Okay,
3,
so we'll
4,
start
5,
again
6,
with
8.
Henry VIII.
Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's O.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Next one.
Richard.
That's 1, 2, 3. N. Oh, this is good. I feel like we're getting something here. Next one.
What was that one again, Bill?
It's.
Oh, that was Margaret the First.
I nearly fell for that, Kemba. And that's 1. So that's W.
Mary is the next one, and that is 1, so that's H.
H. Yeah, got that. Izzy is 2, so that's D. E. Yeah, so it's E. ES, Ed Steins, that's what, 7? 1, 2, 6, 7, that's E. And what was the last one? JR 6. 6L. So what is it?
Own heel.
Heel.
I think you rearranged 2 of the letters near the start there.
Yeah.
On wheel.
On
Own
wheel,
heel
yes.
is much scarier.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at my feet.
How's she done
I've
this?
attached a message to your own heel, detective.
On
You'll never see
wheel,
it.
Eden.
Now that is a great arsonist. He's managed to stick that on our heel when we're not looking. Okay, on wheel, back to the wheel.
So
To
back
the
to the
wheel.
fire truck, you think?
Yeah. We're weeing again. We're back at the wheel.
Wee.
Less enthusiasm this time.
Well, I got to get to this wheel, Eden.
Yeah, okay, we're back on the wheel. Okay, this is good. I feel good. We got the numbers, Cameron. Everything's working now.
You're
Let's do
getting
it.
there.
Can we check the wheels?
You go through it, you check all the wheels. I would also give you steering wheel if you want to try that one. I
we
like
check
them
the
all.
correct wheel.
You check the correct wheel. There it is, deep in there, right near the back of it. You definitely couldn't see it unless you knew you were looking for it. There are some letters written low down deep in there, and you're going to get another message.
I've linked that for you. Cambo, if you'd like to read that out for the people at home
Yeah.
in an appropriately creepy voice.
This house is surrounded on all sides by streets. That is, you can't get to the outskirts of town without crossing at least one road.
That's the theatre manager's significant other.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know you were an arsonist. I'm so disappointed in you.
You think you know a guy.
This house is surrounded. So this house
It's
is
surrounded by
surrounded
all
on
sides
all
on
sides
streets.
by streets.
Do you know what he
Uh,
sounded like when he was setting fire to Izzy DeLizio's house? He said, I'm going to set fire to this house on May the 1st.
Okay, Aya Station in school.
Okay, back to the map.
Back to the map.
Woohoo!
Hey, we never solved the ladder, did we?
No.
No, you never did.
Oh, God.
We never solved the ladder. So I think we need to solve the ladder
Yep.
before we do more mappage.
Okay.
So let's just put that to one side. And let's just get back on the ladder, okay?
One might say you're right near the end of the puzzles.
Oh God, we just got to. I can feel
Let's
it.
solve this ladder.
The lady's still on the phone, right, from the theater?
Of course.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
don't hang up. I'm interested now.
What do you
gotta
know
get-
about ladders?
I gotta get closure.
Every good mystery needs a ladder.
Exactly.
Sorry. Patreon inside joke.
Yeah.
Okay,
Somehow.
back to the ladders. Back to the ladders. Okay, so we've got our words, and this one, we've got everything that we need for this one. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ladders.
You do?
Yep,
Eden,
cool.
my note taking system is so scatterbrained that now I'm seeing notes. I'm like, when did I write this?
Yeah. Which timeline are you in?
I don't know, because there's a bunch of initials here. I'm like, was that when I first saw them?
Oh my God, Cambo, I just saw it. The
Rearranged?
first words, Cambo, I just saw it. It's jump. JUMP on ON bed.
Oh,
What's the last bit? TH.
TH
There. Oh, 3.
3. Bed 3.
Yeah, jump on bed 3.
All right.
That literally just came to me. You know when you step away from something and come back to it? I instantly saw the word jump.
Could you describe to the audience what exactly you've seen in this, how you've used the ladder to get this message?
So okay, yeah, sorry. So each rung, because they're separated, the two images, you've got each one has 2 letters on it, but the thing covering it is blocking the other ones. And if you remove the cover, then you can see from top left, so JU, then the one below it is MP, and you just read it down.
It's
So
similar
you have to
like,
alternate.
like how you
alternates,
get
yeah.
those little bits of cardboard that has a bird on one side and a cage on the other, and you have
Yeah.
to flick it really quickly, and they combine into a bird and a cage.
That's
Similar
it.
thing
And-
where you've got letters between rungs, you need to keep switching between them to read it.
So as you were climbing up and down the ladder that you've set up to get up and down stairs, at some point you made the ladder spin around really fast on one leg.
Yeah.
All right,
But
shall we
it's-
go
but
up and jump on
let's
bed
go-
3?
Let's go. Let's find out the prestige, Cambo. Let's do it.
These beds, they are not sturdy enough for grown adults to be jumping on them, but you know what? Who are you to argue with a ladder? So you step onto bed 3, you start bouncing, And every time you land, the frame creaks until eventually you hear something just crack. So you stop to inspect. Part of the underside has completely broken open and fallen to the floor as a ball of scrunched up paper. So you grab it and you read what's written on it. And you get your final sinister note.
All
Oh,
right.
this is great.
Eden, if you'd like to have a go reading this one in, yet again, an appropriately creepy voice.
The house I've chosen
Oh, God.
on a street with an odd number of houses, adding both sides of the street together.
And now,
Okay.
Cambo, if you could read that in an intelligibly creepy voice.
Go, Camo.
The house I've chosen is on a street with an odd number of houses, adding both sides of the street together.
Yeah,
All right.
what's the opposite of ASMR?
So now we've got everything we need. We've got our
Yep.
3 clues.
Yep.
So let's just run over these new ones. So the house I've chosen is on a street with an odd number of houses.
Yep.
Adding both sides of the street together. Okay. The
Yep.
house is surrounded on all sides by streets. That is, you can't get to the outskirt of town without crossing at least one road. You can't get to the outskirt of town without crossing one road. And then if you remove the first letter from each landmark, some of them make normal English words.
Yep.
The house that
Okay.
I've chosen has exactly
Eden,
one
it
such
must be
landmark. Yep.
between hops in school, right?
Okay. Why would you say that, Cambo?
Because either side of that, left and right, is a road. Hops obviously a word. School isn't. There's one.
It's
There's 5
one-
houses between it.
Odd
if you-
number.
Odd
That's
number.
odd number.
Red
1,
house
2,
at
3,
the
4,
end.
5. Yep. Okay. Well, I think that ticks all the boxes, and there's only one red house there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
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 Yeah, do any other red houses tick these boxes?
School and university. That's near the outskirts. That won't work. Fire station and school, but that's got 8 houses.
Hmm.
So we cut it out. It's a useless street.
Yeah. Get rid of that. University and town own hall. What's that one?
But
2,
that's near
3,
the
4,
outskirts.
5. That's near
Yeah,
the
that
outskirts.
red house is on the outskirts. Cut it out. Useless
Yeah,
street.
get it. Yeah, we hate that house.
Okay, so town hall and but that's own hall and fire. So they're both
no, that's
words.
no, we can't use that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're
Both
both
yeah.
words.
words.
Get them out. Cut it out. Terrible street.
Okay, fire station and school.
both
1, 2,
near the
3, 4,
outskirts,
5,
both
6,
real
7, 8.
words.
And they've got 8
Eight-
houses,
yeah.
which is an even
8
number.
houses. Get it out of here.
Hops in pool, near the outskirts, also 4 houses.
Yep.
So no red house.
No red
No
house
red
there,
house.
you're correct.
Same with hops in hospital,
No red
and
house.
only 3 houses.
There's only 2 houses there. And then hops and factory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's got an even number of houses.
Get out of here.
Factory. No, not school. No, university theatre. No, there's no.
So it must be between
There's
hops
no
and school.
There's no other red houses between ops and school. That's it.
That's it.
We
That's the
are-
red house.
That's got to be the red house. That's it.
You race into the back area where the firefighters are taking their coffee break. You yell at them like you have never yelled at someone before. It's the first time you've ever exerted authority as you point out this red house between Hops and Chul. They don't understand you for a second. But to your amazement, they jump into action. They believe you. They sprint to the pole. They slide down, get into uniform. They get the truck moving. You run to your own car to follow, just in case something happens and your particular set of skills happens to be needed again. You head from the fire station to the shops, then up towards the school, and there, the red house on the right. Still standing? But what's going on? Through one of the downstairs windows, you can see a flickering light. It's small right now, but it looks like it's growing. The arsonist is struck, but only recently. Heart racing, blood pumping, you race onto the property with the firefighters, but they're all focused on breaking down the front door to get to the fire before it spreads. You, on the other hand, head for the back. You make it just as the back door to the house is being swung open by a man in a dark coat and a hood. Who could it be? He jumps at the side of you and gets ready to run. No time for thought, just action. You launch yourself at him, a full tackle, and with your super built frame, you send him tumbling to the ground. His hood is swept off, revealing his face, revealing him to be some guy, nobody you knew. Like, it's not like it was secretly Neil or something showing
Damn
up
it.
in some kind of shocking twist. I mean, yeah, even though firefighters turning out to do arson is a documented issue of some significance, it's statistically incredibly unlikely and, quite unfair to all of the other thousands of firefighters who don't commit arson in a year. And generally, the people in this line of work do some pretty heroic stuff when push comes to shove, and it turns out most of the time the arsonist, more times than not, is just some guy who chose fire. So even though it's not a particularly great circular narrative, you've done a great service. You have stopped a serious serial criminal. And you even get a thank you card.
Congratulations!
Just as I suspected, Eden, some guy did it.